Hi, paranormal pals. Our spooky sibling this week is living her very best life, sailing the seas and connecting with spirit. Miss Molly Knows is an intuitive psychic medium who resides on her catamaran, the Mediumship, with her husband and 2 rescue dogs off the coast of Miami. She communicates with spirit energies using tarot and oracle cards, evidential mediumship, psychometry, spirit drawing, scribing, paranormal investigation, and remote viewing. She's known for her talent as a finder of lost items. Miss Molly had a near-death experience when she was 3 after she drowned in her grandmother's pool. After the out-of-body experience, she was able to communicate with spirit energies, and she's always had an intense interest in the paranormal and metaphysical world. Most recently, what she believes to be a fairy interaction opened up a curiosity about interdimensional beings, extraterrestrials, and folklore. Miss Molly has a wild, spooky story, so buckle up. She says she had just finished a TikTok live stream at her home in rural Kentucky talking about previous fairy interactions. She was getting ready for bed when a blinding whitish blue light came from the window 10 feet off the ground, and she saw several faces and hands pounding the window desperately to get her attention. She was so stunned she couldn't talk, and her husband was quietly looking at his phone with his headset on. She finally yelled, "There's someone outside!" Her husband jumped up and ran outside to see, and their car started on its own. Both sets of keys were in the house, at least 30 yards from the vehicle. No one was in the car, and her husband jumped in to shut it off. It restarted immediately. He shut it off again and came inside, and once they both calmed down, Miss Molly described the beings she saw in the window. She saw the exact same beings in Georgia a few years ago as well. Later, she was in the bathroom and her husband was in the living room when a full-length mirror fell over and smashed to pieces in the bedroom. They thought maybe it was a warning message and soon headed back to their boat in Miami. Sure enough, they arrived hours before a huge storm and were lucky to be able to get back to the boat safely to ride it out. Miss Molly's favorite cryptid is a Yeti or Bigfoot, and she notes that in Kentucky, it's said that Daniel Boone's journals that he saw a Yahoo, and around those parts, it isn't a question as to if they exist, but where they come from. Personally, she thinks they're interdimensional. You can find Miss Molly at her website, missmollyknows.com, and on social media at missmollyknows. She mostly goes live on TikTok and also has YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. She has openings for private readings and is currently including a free foli with the purchase of any session on her website. If you have interest in receiving a foli on its own, please follow her on TikTok and come to a live. Her subscribers get priority reads. Go give Miss Molly a follow, and as always, keep it spooky, Sibs.